Reflections, the man of many faces unmasked. In the heart of Metropolis, a city pulsating with neon lights and the bustling energy of its people, lived a man named Elias Crowe. To the casual observer, Elias was an unremarkable figure, a middle-aged bookstore owner with tousled hair and round spectacles perched on a thin nose. But beneath this ordinary exterior lay a labyrinth of secrets and a talent for disguise that would astound even the most accomplished actors. Elias was known among his small circle of friends as a quiet bibliophile. He would often lose himself in the pages of forgotten novels and obscure histories. However, every evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, his true passion ignited. Elias was a master of transformation, an avant-garde performance artist whose alter egos captivated underground audiences. Each persona he created was a vivid tapestry woven from bits of history, folklore, and the ever-complex thread of human emotion. Though most of the city was unaware of his double life, whispers began circulating about the man of many faces. Some claimed he was a ghostly figure haunting the theater scene, others believed he was a revolutionary revealing societal truths through his art. The enigma of his identity became a topic of fervent speculation among those who frequented the hidden venues where he performed. One fateful evening, as rain pattered against the city streets, Elias prepared for what would be his most ambitious performance yet, a spectacle intended to unravel the very nature of identity. He had created a character named the Unmasked, a figure who would speak of societal masks and the roles people wore to navigate their complex lives. This character embodied the theme of reflection, the battles within each individual, the facades created to please, protect, or deceive. As the performance began, the audience sat rapt with attention, spellbound by Elias's ability to morph seamlessly into the myriad characters that populated the Unmasked. He danced between the jester and the philosopher, the lover and the warrior, embodying the multiplicity of the human psyche. Laughter and tears flowed freely as he peeled back layers of human experience, inviting them into a realm of empathy and understanding. However, Elias had a secret. He had invited a select few from his past, individuals who had challenged him or had been a part of the darker chapters of his life. It was his intention to confront them through his performance, to reveal the impact they had on his journey to self-acceptance. He understood the risk. The lines between art and reality could blur dangerously. As the Unmasked took center stage, Elias felt a tremor of uncertainty. Would they recognize the stories he weaved, the faces he had carefully crafted in their presence? Would they see the reflection of themselves in the characters, or would it be just a show, a fleeting moment lost to time? The pivotal moment arrived when he introduced a character named the Conqueror, a representation of ambition that had once driven him to abandon friendships and convictions in pursuit of success. The audience held its breath as Elias locked eyes with a man sitting in the front row, Julian, an old mentor-turned-rival who had ignited the fire of ambition in him. The Conqueror, with a piercing gaze, spoke words that struck deep, about betrayal, ambition, and the ghosts of the past. It was as if the theater had become a mirror, reflecting Julian's own choices and regrets right back at him. For a fleeting moment, the air crackled with unspoken tension, and the audience sat frozen, suspended between reality and performance. Elias's portrayal of this character reached an emotional crescendo. As he shed one last layer of costume, he turned to Julian with unmasked sincerity. "Is success worth the cost of our souls?" he asked, his voice quaking with vulnerability. The theater held its breath, the question reverberating like a bell tolling through the silence. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. The facade around Julian crumbled. He saw not the performer but the man behind the performance, the man who mirrored not just his failures and triumphs, but the very essence of the human experience. Tears welled in Julian's eyes as a curtain fell not only between performer and audience, but also on the unspoken conflict between them. After the curtain descended and the crowd erupted into applause, Elias stepped into the wings, his heart pounding. He had bared his soul, his vulnerabilities laid bare for all to see. In that moment, he understood that being unmasked was not merely about revealing his identity but was a shared experience of humanity, the connections that bind us through our stories. As the audience filtered out, Julian approached Elias, a mixture of admiration and regret etched into his features. "I never realized how much our choices hurt others," he said quietly. You've opened my eyes tonight." Elias smiled, the weight of many faces now feeling lighter upon him. We're all reflections of one another, shaped by our choices. Sometimes it takes a stranger, or a friend, to show us the truth. From that night on, Elias Crowe continued to perform, but with a renewed purpose. The man of many faces was no longer just an enigmatic figure. He had become a storyteller, an empath, and in unveiling the many faces of humanity, he had found his own. And in the bustling heart of Metropolis, Elias's reflections resonated with all who dared to look closely, reminding them that within the masks we wear, we are never truly alone. I would appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button if you found my story was enjoyable.